Hola amigos, and welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma Bennet and I am the author of 7 contemporary romance novels and 1 children's picture book. Today I am going to be doing a little bit of writing and editing vlog. I have had 5 manuscripts which I needed to send the final drafts of to my new publishers. I am going to be finishing the last of those today, so that is going to be absolutely brilliant. But before that, I have got my weekly sewing group. It's just a couple of hours on a Thursday morning and I really look forward to it. I'll show you what I get up to at that when I get back. Catch you later. Hello again, I'm back from sewing class. Can you spot Paris behind me? He's just heard his dad upstairs and every time he hears him he thinks he's going to come down and play with him, so he sits there with his teddy, ever hopeful, waiting. Yeah, I don't think he's coming down, mate. I think he's going to be working for a while. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about my sewing group. It's super duper fun and I'm very proud because this is what I finished a couple of weeks ago. So I started going to this sewing group about 5 months ago because we'd bought some curtains from IKEA for our bedroom and they were really nice curtains, but the problem with buying curtains from IKEA is that they only come in one length and they were far too long, so I wanted to learn how to shorten the curtains. So I went along to this sewing group, shortened the curtains. That was a traumatic experience, but never mind, it got done. And then I could start working on some fun stuff. My lovely friend Caroline lent me her sewing machine for like a long-term loan, and I was able to make this for Paris. It's so lovely. This is called bias binding. It is the bane of my life, but I did it. I made it. Now, from far away, it looks pretty good. You don't want to look too closely because this is the first time I've ever completed a quilt or anything like that, but I'm really, really proud of myself. It took me quite a long time, but I did it. I don't really like Paris using it, to be honest though, because I don't really want it getting dirty and having to go in the wash over and over in case it messes up the stitching. So maybe I should have thought of something else to make rather than a dog blanket, but never mind. I also don't think he likes it very much. So yeah, but the thing with the sewing group that I get frustrated with is that it does take me quite a long time to finish things there, but that's because I only do sewing really at the sewing group, because I don't have time necessarily during the day or even in the evening to get out the sewing machine and to do the sewing. Also, something could go wrong with the sewing machine. It does kind of hate me. There's bobbins and all kinds of things that can go wrong. So it's just nicer to be with the teacher so that she can help me if anything goes wrong. So yeah, I just have to kind of accept that each of the things that I make takes me a little bit of a while. So that's Paris's blanket. See, if I put it down with him. Paris, you want to come on in? What do you think? You going to come on? Let's see if he likes it. No, see, just walked right past it. What can you do? The next thing that I'm making is like a beach bag. So I've only been doing the cutting out so far and the basically the preparing it because I haven't done any sewing yet. So the outside of it is going to be like this plain, and then the inside is going to be, well, you can't see it properly, can you, because they're facing each other. It's going to be that stripy one, but then it's going to have the stripy fabric. Is going to have big pockets on the sides and on the front and back as well. So I probably won't use it as a beach bag. I think I will end up using it as like a bag for my knitting stuff, because at the moment that's just in like a big paper bag in the corner of the sitting room, which doesn't look all that nice. So that is the plan for that. Anyway, back to the rest of the day. It is a really, really strange week here. It's really unusual. All 4 of our boys have gone away for an 8-day holiday. They are so lucky. They have gone to Devon and then on to Cornwall. And so the house is just so quiet. And there's a lot less cooking to do and things like that. It's just as well because I had these 5 manuscripts which I need to get sorted for my new publishers by the end of the month. So I did the first one quite early in the month because I was a bit worried about that one, because that one is the book that hadn't been published before, so it really did need going through, and my editor had a few suggestions of things that I could tweak and work on. That one went off early. I've got 3 of the other ones done now, and they've been sent off as well. It's just the final one that I need to finish off today. I did a few chapters of it the other day. I think I'm on chapter 4, and there's 12 chapters, so it shouldn't be a problem. There's not a lot that I want to do. It's kind of reading through it, making sure that I haven't used too many justs and too many looks. Those are my crutch words. I use those all the time. But that would be amazing to get that sent off. And then tomorrow I'm going to be working on all the marketing stuff that they want from me. They want kind of a little synopsis for each one and description of the main characters, the setting, time of year that the book is set at, all stuff like that. So that will take me a little bit of a while, but I'm not going to worry about that today. But what else have I got to do today? Let me see. I did have a piece of paper. I was organised. My post-it. There we go. I had my post-it. Right, so, yes, finishing the manuscript. Yes, sewing, tick off. Ooh, I had to pop to the library. I've done that as well. I picked up, there was a book waiting for me. Daisy Jones and the Six. Problem with our library is that because it's only a little library and it's only open a couple of days a week, if they get a book in for you, they only keep it for a week before they kind of send it back to whatever library they got it from. And so if you miss a couple of days, then a week's gone because it's only open very infrequently. But I have been wanting to read something by Taylor Jenkins Reid for ages because I keep seeing her books all over TikTok and all over Instagram and things, but my library hasn't had any of them in. But they finally got Daisy Jones and the Six, and I am the first person to have it out. I like that brand new book out from the library, so that is going to be added into my TBR pile, which if you saw my video about my books and what I'm reading at the moment, you'll know that I'm having some trouble there. But hopefully that is being sorted out thanks to some very helpful suggestions by you guys. The other priority for today is going to be having a nice evening with my husband. Every day we have been finishing work a little bit earlier at around 4 o'clock, hopping in the car with the dogs and taking them off to a different woodland to try out some trails that we haven't walked before. That has been really lovely to be just the two of us having chats, and the weather's been really lovely for it as well. And then when we get back, we have been cooking special date night meals every night, so I'll be looking forward to that this evening as well. Sometimes when we get back from the dog walk, if we've still got some work to do, we might do another hour and a half before we properly stop and have a late supper. The other thing that we have been doing after supper, we have been relaxing so much in the evening, it's crazy, is watching The Terminal List. It's a new series on Amazon Prime, and it's got Chris Pratt. He's a Navy SEAL in it, and it's not really my kind of thing. It's a little bit too violent for me, but my husband's really liking it, and I'm really liking watching something with him. Plus, it means that I'm building up the points, and that means that tonight I get to watch The Hating Game. Now, I absolutely loved the book, The Hating Game, and I had no idea until I posted about it on TikTok and Instagram that there was a film. Who knew? Well, presumably lots of people knew. I didn't know. So I'm going to be watching that tonight after we have our date night meal. So that will be really good. But it does mean that I need to get my bum into gear and get this editing done, because otherwise I'm not going to be allowed to watch the movie. I'm going to have to force myself to sit and edit all evening, and that's not going to be any fun for anyone. I'll catch you guys again later. Is it weird that I currently like to write with a Coca-Cola bottle of drying lavender next to me? We've got this massive lavender plant in our garden, and I've been cutting some of it to dry so that I can use it to make lavender bags, and it just smells so gorgeous. I've got various vases and things all around the house with it, and I really like to have one next to me when I'm writing. It's supposed to be relaxing and stuff, isn't it? And then I've got my cup of tea here as well, my hedgehog mug, which I do like, but I prefer a bigger cup for tea, it has to be said, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to work for an hour, and then I'm going to stop to have some lunch because my tummy's already rumbling. Alex might not think much of the blanket, but I think Hector likes it. He looks very comfy. Don't you, baby? You right there, Hector? We have come out to a local woods to walk the dogs. They have been thoroughly miserable since the kids have been away. It's not nearly fun enough with only mum and dad around. We are boring and do way too much work. So every day we've been taking them out for a really decent walk, and I think they have at least been enjoying that. There's Hector coming now. So we got back from the dog walk and I went back to work for a little bit on my manuscript. It's all done and I've sent it off to my new editor. So I am so pleased, and we've got a little glass of bubbly to celebrate. This is actually a bottle of Prosecco, which was given to us in a hotel room that we stayed in last June for my husband's 40th birthday, and I had forgotten that we had it. So, chin chin. I was glad that I found that. Now, next is we're going to be beginning cooking. We bought this recipe book. It's a Gino Campo recipe book, and what's cool is all the recipes are supposed to take 20 minutes or less. They don't when you're doing them the first time, I'll be honest, they take at least half an hour. But every day this week we have been doing a different recipe, and tonight I believe it's chicken something. Let me see if I can find it. It's not that chicken. Which chicken is it? Here we go. It's sticky honey chicken with smoked paprika. So that sounds really, really yummy. And then I've got some of the chocolates that I won in the competition from the Romantic Novelist Association conference left over. And I will be treating myself to watching the hating game. So it's going to be a really, really fun evening. I will say good night to you guys now though, so that I can get on and make some mess in the kitchen. If you enjoy this kind of video, please do consider subscribing and boop that notification bell so that YouTube lets you know when I have a new video available. I'm hoping you are having a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one.